All right, guys, now you get to see it running. Still have to do some cleanup work, but this is the new left-hand side stream with tons of waterfall action, 8,000 gallons an hour, and I am in love with it. I can't decide which side I like better now. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments below which one you like better, the left-hand side or the right-hand side. We came back with 2 premium hardy water lilies and a bunch more fish. You can see we've got them strategically placed. This one's already flowering. The koi are being bullies. They push the flower over. But we have 2 completely different lilies, beautiful pink flowers. This one over here is gonna have peach yellow, magnificent flowers. I'm super excited for these. We fertilized them today with a new fertilizer this year. So these are gonna start spreading out and blooming like crazy. I think there's 20 something fish in here now. I lost count, we've added so many, but the pond is so over filtered, it's not gonna be a problem. The fish have plenty of space to swim, a huge fish cave to hide in if they need to, and the wetland filter is gonna do all the work of keeping the water clean and clear just like this. Okay guys, our one-day project that turned into 1 day and a few hours because of an electrical cord underground is finally done and it looks spectacular. So this is a 6x8 ecosystem pond. You could very easily have some small goldfish or baby koi in this, but this pond in particular is meant for frogs, tadpoles, salamanders, and the birds. This is just meant to enhance the local wildlife in this backyard. So I think these size ponds are great for small areas. If you've got a little garden in the corner of your yard, or you just want the sights and sounds of moving water and you love the idea of a pond, but you don't have a big space, this is so perfect. It fits most budgets and you can fit them in probably 10 by 10 area to call it safe. But this is such a cool little feature. The grandchildren are gonna love this. They're over the house all the time. They're gonna be catching frogs, watching this age and mature and playing in here. And I think it is just a total enhancement for anybody's outdoor living space. If you would love to have a water feature just like this in your yard and you live in the New England area, this is just about $10,000. And then you have the sights and sounds of moving water and you're gonna attract all sorts of wildlife. If you build it, they will come. This took 3 weeks, a lot of hard work, a lot of thinking to overcome some challenges. You see we've got these 2 massive frame rocks on the side. They are absolutely gorgeous. Both of these are ledge stone that we actually dug up while excavating the pond. Right in the middle here, we've got that sheet waterfall, and I called this a natural sheet waterfall because not only do we have that beautiful, perfect sheet of water on this side, there's all these little nooks and crannies and outcropping pieces where the water is doing all kinds of different stuff. Especially in this part right here, we talked about how it was like a V notch. We're gonna get a lot of water to drop down into there and force out of that narrow opening. And I think this looks so natural and so cool, and it makes such a unique sound. You jump behind that and we've got our deep pool section. This is probably 6 inches deep right back here. It makes it look very natural. We move our way up and we've got all sorts of waterfalls to look at. This section of the water feature in particular is my favorite just because it looks so natural and there's so much going on. So halfway through the build, we decided to put that hidden waterfall spillway up here and do a mystery waterfall to add to all the amazingness going on over here. So we've got probably 3,000 gallons an hour coming out of the hillside. It looks like it's just springing up from all the big ledgestone boulders, coming down here and splitting over this boulder. It really helps widen out our stream section and just give a lot more interest to the homeowner and anybody that comes over to view this. All that water converges right here. And when the pumps are running full force, this is about 13,000 gallons an hour coming over this one waterfall. So it's very impressive. It's a lot of water, it makes a lot of noise, and it's just epic, really. You don't need to have massive waterfall drops to make something cool happen. And we found this rock when we were selecting all of our boulders, and this thing was just screaming to be a waterfall. There's all these little ledges. Each one's maybe an inch tall. Just creates a lot of character. The whole purpose of this one stone was to back the water up over here to give us more of a pool. The rock isn't perfectly flat. We did that on purpose because we wanted to try to get those twists and turns. We wanted that water to kick back and come through here, and you can see that's happening, and it makes such a cool effect. Each one of these is supposed to look like just the top of a massive boulder sticking out of the ground. If you think of like an iceberg, you just see a little bit that pokes up, but the majority of that iceberg is down underneath the water. Same concept. This is to give the effect that the water washed away the soil and uncovered the top of some very massive boulders, but most of that rock is underground where you can't see it. And what's really cool is we were able to get this water to really twist and turn and choke down between all these little narrow openings to create a ton of different boulder falls and just a really cool visual effect. Very natural. You've got a lot of twist and turn and movement, and maybe that's probably maximum like a 4-foot wide area, but you've got this water bouncing around going all over the place. 9,000 gallons per hour, guys, choking down between these 2 boulders, creating what we call a boulder fall. And this is very cool because the water runs over this one rock in multiple different ways. We got some of the water kicking up onto our frame rock and coming over. I just love it. Final waterfall that starts everything off. This comes right out of our wetland filter, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's foggy out, the mist is rolling in, my glasses are fogging, but guess what? We're all done, and this pond is epic. This is our first courtyard pond, I think. Maybe we've got another one, I'm just not thinking about it right now, but this is a gorgeous setting. We have 360-degree of viewing areas. There's patios, there's a fireplace, there's bedroom windows, an observatory, a little bistro setting over here. There is something on every single angle looking at this water feature, and this is the focal point of the whole backyard, and that is super cool to me because water draws in life, it draws in people. Staring at this waterfall is my equivalent of when you sit around the campfire and you just can't stop staring into the flames and you don't even know why you're doing it, and you just get lost in time. Now this pond is 14 by 14 ecosystem pond. We've got our skimmer over there that houses our pump, collects all the debris before it sinks to the bottom of the pond. It pumps the water into our oversized biological waterfall filter, which is the headwaters of this gorgeous 2-drop waterfall. We also have the water coming around to this custom cut spillway bowl that just adds another vantage point and another water feature to this already super cool ecosystem koi pond. The pond itself has 3 3-watt LEDs that are gonna make this thing glow. Now it's a little dusty because we just started it up, but give it 12, 24 hours and this will be crystal clear the way it's supposed to. And then next week the fish come in, and probably soon after a bunch of aquatic plants. And something really cool the homeowner's doing, he's getting this entire area around the pond landscaped. There's gonna be stepping stone pathways, all sorts of ground cover steppables, different plants. This project started out as a small bare liner pond with a semi-formal stack slate waterfall. We ripped that out to build what you see now. However, all the area the pond sat in, which was over by the urn, that was the only area that was level up here. Everything else was a steep drop off. And we had to work our way backwards. We had to tear that pond out, start filling it in, and start filling this area in. And as we excavated, all the soil from digging out the new pond had to get dumped back here to bring this grade up. But in order to bring this grade up and support it, we had to build a massive boulder retaining wall. And once that was done, we had to bring in more soil to build this waterfall berm. And we had to put more big boulders on the backside of that to hold that dirt in place. So this was a very challenging project, but I think it's absolutely incredible. We had to do a trench for a natural gas line. That's something new for us. Typically these fire features run off a propane tank, but some people have natural gas, like this homeowner, and they wanted to connect this directly to that so they don't have to go out and get propane tanks and refill them, which is pretty cool. But we had to dig a big trench to code so the plumber can come and hook that up. These boulders are very big. They've got this massive outdoor living room on one side, these big arborvitaes with a big drop off on the other. And so it was a very tight access for us. We had to sit the machine in one place and very carefully set all these rocks, not coming too close to the structure, not coming too close to the trees. And we had to have all the rocks shuttled to us from the backside and turn around and pick them up. So it was a very tedious process building this. There was a lot of moving parts, a lot of boulders coming in, soil coming out, reusing the soil to build areas up. So there was a lot that went into this. There was also a lot of attention to detail and extra time that went into this project to make sure we were able to tie in some of the elements of the existing stack slate retaining wall, the stack slate walls that go right up against the foundation. We had to affix our liner to the foundation with batten strips. So we had to drill into the concrete and use a metal bar to hold that liner in place. There are a lot of different things involved in this. But that's the case with most features. They're never really cut and dry, black and white. There's always something hidden in the ground. There's always some sort of access challenge, but that's what keeps it interesting and fun. It changes the scope of the work as you're going. Things have to change. You have to move something over a little bit this way, change the shape. It keeps it interesting and it helps the creativity process. So as you're going along, a rock you might have picked out for one purpose doesn't work in that way, and now you've got to use it somewhere else, and it actually turns out even cooler. Like this rock right here, it's an absolutely gorgeous, massive frame rock. This was originally intended to be kind of like a wing wall, retaining wall rock, and it was just too big, it wasn't working. And thank goodness, because when we got it over here, it was absolutely perfect. So things like that happen all the time on these projects. There's a lot more that goes into these projects than we normally talk about, or most people even realize. These are very complex things. I know a lot of people comment, oh, I could build that thing for 500 bucks. Yeah, I know, I get it. These things are one of a kind work of art. They're alive, they're living pieces of art, and you need them to be absolutely beautiful, very natural, but you need them to be sound and solid. These rocks can't shift over time. When the grandkids are jumping around the stones, they can't be moving. So there's a lot that goes into this to make it look this awesome and be complete, but be functional and stable. We just wanted to talk about a couple of those things because there are people who are interested. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, guys, I'm out of here because we got more awesome waterfalls to build.